Okay guys, welcome back again. So today we will discuss the list in Pythons, right? What is list? So in last video we have seen that we have the strings, right? So today we will discuss what is list. So list is like which can store, right? Which can store multiple elements, right? Irrespective of any data type, right? Whether it's a string, maybe a float, or maybe integer, right? Whatever the value is, list will store it, right? And it is denoted by the these normal parentheses, but when we do some kind of operations, right, so we will indicates the list with the square brackets. All right, so that is the list in Python, which can store the multiple elements, right, into a single variable, because we need to give a name, some name to our list, right, so that we can call the list and we can do some additional operations on that. So that is how that list is defined, and this is the way if we want to do, let's say, indexing or maybe the other operation, then we need to indicate with the square brackets. All right, so let's move to our Jupyter notebook. I'll open a new notebook and I will name it at a list. Okay, let it open. So I'll just start with the markdown list in Python. Fine. So let's say if I say my equal to, I will just give this empty list, okay, and if you print this, so it will print like this. You can see that we are getting the empty list, right? But if we need to define the list, right, so that is how that you can see the same thing it is giving. Like here you can see the class is set as a list because we are initializing our list, right? And in, as I mentioned, that to initialize the list, it is a normal parenthesis, right? But when you do some kind of operations in that list, maybe indexing, slicing, or any other append, insert, replace, these kind of operation will do with the square brackets. That is how that it is indicates, right? Let's say if I have a list called course underscore list, right? Let me define the list. To define the list, as I mentioned, to, because here what we are doing is we are just defining that list, right? So let's say we have the Python, okay, we have Azure, we have Jenkins, and let's say we have Docker. All right, let's stick with this and just call it course underscore list. Now you can see that we have the list, right? So similarly, if you want to do this type function, right, course underscore list, you can see that it is giving you a type of this variable as a list, right? And if you, let me copy this because it is course list, it is good now. Let's say if you want to do indexing of position 1, right, so it will give you Azure because 0 1, remember, I think that is already we have discussed. Similarly, if you do for this one, so it is giving nothing because there is no, it is only the 3, right? If you check the length of this list, so you will get only 4, right? And it is 0 1 2 3, that is how, right? So third is the fourth position, 0 1 2 3, so there is no fourth index. That is why we are getting out of range operations, right? And similarly you can do this from the backward. Let's say if you want to print from the back side, so you can see we have the Jenkins, right? This is how we can print, and it is like support multiples, right? Let's say I would say some, put some name, I'll just give some number, and then I will give some float number, right? And if you do this, so you can see it is supported that multiple data types, right? That's how we can do. It is a kind of mixed list, we can say that we have this. So let's say if we have this integer, right, so we can do this operations as well, that with the assignment operator. Let's say if I would say list print, and I am printing the sorry, it is new list only, new one. it is printing 2, right? And if I'll do assignment operator, let's say this one, right? uh, and then if I'll print new underscore list, so you can see that now 2 becomes 4, right? So based on your data type, whatever that operation that data type like supports, based on that you can make the help of this assignment operator, and you can do that operations on that as well. So that is also supported in, right? And let's say I will say number underscore list, and I put some random number here. This comma only. And we have this number list, right? So what we can do is we can do that sum operation directly, which will give you the number sum of these your list, right? You can do that min function also. So the thing is, what I'm trying to convey is, like, it is supporting almost all operations which we have already seen, right? You can see that 2 is the minimum number and 9 is the maximum number, right? We can do the slicing, which we just mentioned on that course list, right? Let's say if I wanted to see 0 colon 2, then it will print the Azure, because it is starting from the 1, right? It is 1 colon 2. It is starting like X first, and then print the next one, and go beyond the second, right? 0 1 2. So it is second, and it will gonna print before second, but starting except the first one, right? So 0 1 2, you can see that Azure. So that is how that we can do that slicing in this uh, our Azure, sorry, this list. And similarly, from the backward, if you want to do, you can do that from the previously, right? We can do some operation called append, right? Let's say if we want to append a new operations, right? Let's say if I'll say we have the AWS now, and if I print, so you can see that AWS is added to that particular list, right? So that is how that it is added. But as you see that AWS is added at the end of the list, what if you want to add it at the some other position, right? So for that we have something called insert. Let's say I am adding up before Azure, right? And I will say what I need to, because this one is a kind of indexing value of that, right? Azure 0 1. So Azure indexing value is 1, right? And I need to insert before Azure is, let's say, bash. Okay, and if you print now, so you can see that bash append added at the end and insert added whatever the position you are specifying, right? So there it can add that particular stuff, right? I think it support reverse also. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that it reversed our entire list, right? So that is how that we can do. But if you want to add more than one, right? So what you can do is you can make a use of extend, right? Let's say I would add Jira, I would add Terraform, I would add GCP, and if you print this, takes only one, but it is sorry, because we need to specify this in square bracket, because we are extending a multiple, right? So obviously it will support like this. And now if you print, you can see that, right? After Python we have added three more: Jira, Terraform and TCP. So that is how that you can extend your list. Similarly, there is an option called remove, right? Let's say you want to remove the Jira. Okay, you can say Jira, and now you can see we don't have Jira, right? And it is a case sensitive also. I think that is also good point. Let's say if I am trying to a small Python to remove, right? So it will give you a error because it will say, okay, there is no Python because it is a case sensitive language, right? You can see this is not in the list. Yeah, obviously it is not in the list, right? And there is function called, I think, index as well, where what we can do is, let's say I just want to check the position of the Jenkins, right? So what I will do is I'll just do index of Jenkins. So you can see that 0 1 2, it is giving you the index value of that particular string or the element, right? And I think Pope will remove from the previous one, start I think at the end, right? Yeah, you can see that it has giving you that GCP, right? That means that GCP has been popped from the list. We don't have the GCP now. So this is something that you can do, right? There is other operation as well, if you remember that the identity operation, right? So what we can do is, let's say if I would say docker in course list, you can see true, right? And let's say if I would say docker in course list, it is saying false, right? So this is how that we can play with our list, right? We have that multiple functions which we have just seen that how we can make it, and we have this list, right? You can add the multiple list as well, right? If you have a, I think there was one list something called we have created previously, num list. Okay, here you can see num list, and this is the course list, right? So if you want to add these two lists, right, I mean that you want to do that stuff in the same thing, right? So what you can do is you can say new underscore list, okay, and I'll just specify course list plus num list. And now if I print new list, so you will have all uh, elements from the both list. It has merged, right? First we have the course list and then we have the num list. So that is how you can add the multiple list as well. All right, so I'll take a pause from today, and in next video maybe we'll discuss the tuple. What is tuple in Python? So till then, please subscribe my channel and share it with other guys as well. And I will meet you in next. Please take care. Thank you. Bye bye.